What's up, guys? It's Ninja on a Ninja. Basically, I was gonna take off, but I have some time, so as a result, I'm gonna do this. I think I could fit. I don't know, but I'm making a video response to Adam Mockler, and there's a reason why he is on my list. I have an ego-driven reporter, quote unquote, idiot, sellout, fakers, Luke Beasley, Adam Mockler, Kyle Kalinske, who abuses drugs, sniff, sniff, swallow, David Packerman, Philip DeFranco, Colton Wexleth Vlog, Hassan and Temple. Also, I want to add to that list EMIRU Emiru. And basically, Emru is on the list now. And the reason why is because I posted a comment and she deleted it, and she is uh, in a void. She's in a protection void that can be exploited. So Emru, because she is in a protection void that can be exploited. And basically, she posted a video where she's hugging a friend, and Sina or something like that is the friend's name. And the thing about this friend is she had some fat tits, right? But basically, she has fat tits because chances are she's been pregnant before, and she's probably had an abortion or she takes anti-pregnancy pills, and basically tricked her body into generating boobies to feed her child that she no longer has or doesn't have, and her whole body thinks she has, um, basically, and that's why she has those titties. But I had said that in the comment, and I refreshed the page a bit later, and sure enough, the comment was deleted. So she's living in a world where basically she's controlling and manipulating data, and that's not natural, and that's not how the world works. And anybody who is like that is a curse on society and hurting society, even if it's trying to keep you safe. That's a danger that you should have because that's something you should know. Basically, it's an exploit that should be known about. Basically, and it's why men will be guided down the path of darkness and deceit and trickery and bullshit, and it's a hindrance on the world and society at large. So that's why I mentioned it. But anyways, all those people are influencers, and they're hurting the world with the manipulation. They're bought into selling an image, just like people such as Trump, Elon Musk, and then we have Paul Ryan, Steve Bannon, Jeff Sessions, Lindsey Graham, Jim Jordan, Pete Hegseth, R.K. Jr., Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Marco Rubio, and Jenny Pirro, and Fox News, and all of the spin offs. And basically, they exist because the left is either too soft, or we see them actively remove people with cancel culture, and this enables the right and the existence of their bullshit to go uncontested. Because I don't want to deal with your bullshit, I'm going to make sure you don't exist. And the problem is, you're living in your world, and the people who It's kind of like them and the way that they try to disarm America, basically, and how they say, "Oh no, guns are bad. Guns are bad. We should remove guns from people." Problem is that ICE and bad people will still have guns, and the only reason why they're not taking your money and taking your freedom and taking your power and taking your life, basically, is because of the fact that you could have guns. And that's why they don't step foot in your land, basically, because you may be armed and they don't want to die. So that's why they don't do that. And you're trying to remove guns, and this is why that shit is not okay. But, anyways, all that said, you gotta understand the situation now. Basically, Jeffrey Epstein, and how they cancel cultured him on 9/11, and how they cancel cultured Arabs because of bullshit and the control. Same thing with COVID and how they're shutting down businesses because they're moving goalposts over healthcare. And then how Marjorie Taylor Swift benefited because Trump and his tariff plan, and how he was like, nope, just kidding, and how everybody on the right, basically bought the stocks as it fell, just like they bought the land in America, in California, as it fell. And again, it's because of ego-driven reporter aided South fakers like Luke Weasley, Adam Mockler, this guy right here, Adam Mockler, Kyle Klinsky, Dave Pacman, Philip DeFranco, Carlton Wexlet, Vlog, Hassan, Tim Pool, Emaru, to a small extent, and Megan Zed Press. And again, I mention him because I have to say it every time. The first half of his video is clickbait causing issues. First Amendment auditor bullshit, blah blah blah. But the problem was, it wasn't public land. It was private land. It wasn't you can't. It wasn't that you're not allowed and you have a right. It was they just ask you to not to do so, and he decided to do so, and he's just being an asshole and douchebag, and how that hurts the society, doesn't help society, and that's why they're popping off, because the bad people want to influence them and encourage them to pop off. So you copy him, basically, and how his message flows, and why they push me into the dirt, into the ground, because they don't want you to follow my message because of that same bullshit. But I also gotta say that same person at Megan and Zed Press, I did good stuff by asking about the name, like what you do, what your address is, what you sell, and your operations, hour of operations, and blah blah blah. I know how that was good, but again, because he did the issues, first amendment stuff, basically how that led again to badness, just like Emaru, and you're leading to badness. And again, the Bernie blackout is the last thing. I know because it's happening to me. And basically, what they do is they try to shut you up or me up, basically because I have a good message that they don't want to get around. Because as long as Emru and her shit protection and a void that can be exploited exists, that can exploit you and take advantage of you and use you because you're dumbass, you're willing to dress up as these characters that they wish they could fuck, and you're willing to dress up like these characters and allow them to fuck you as these characters, and so I get to live the fantasy of fucking a misfortune, for example, but then I don't have to marry you. And again, it's a trick, and you expect good guys like me to get with you after you've ruined yourself and your life through all that bullshit. That's why this is a problem, basically. But anyways, all that said, now we'll go ahead. Go ahead, good.
For example, just before Congress announced...
First off, why are you here? I don't understand why we see him and why we're watching you watching a video. That's fucking stupid to me.
Acted the original Trump tax cuts at the end of...
The Trump tax...
Why are you talking about she misspoke? Do you have nothing? Like, this is what, again, influence negative, like, Bill Burr arguing with the woman. Fuck it. Okay, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it. Fuck it right now. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Fuck it. Because of dumbasses like you. Um, Bill Burr had argued with the woman. First one.
Never address how women argue, which I think is a core of a lot of that shit. You know, and I gotta tell you something, man. Like, I never knew how women argued, but after 20 years of losing every significant battle in a relationship, I finally figured out how they argued. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm starting to turn this franchise around.
And again, for the record, it's not about arguing with the woman. It's just about manipulation. It's like reverse psychology with the child, but that doesn't work on you because you're an older. So we use this instead, and you're old enough, but you're young enough to fall for this bullshit, and that's why it's thing. It's not arguing with the woman. It's just I'm smarter than you, and you're stupider than I am, and this works.
I have begun a winning tradition. This is how they argue, as far as I can tell. All right? If they're right, they argue the point. And they stay on point and make sure you stay on point until you're down on your knees, apologizing, begging for forgiveness.
Which Adam Mockler does not have. And as far as this video, right?
All right? No problem with that. Totally respect it. But here's the thing. If they're wrong, they go rogue.
And that Adam Mockler has. And since he has that, he is using that as the tool to defeat or to change what you're thinking.
They go off-road. They start thinking of shit you're sensitive about. Maybe you don't get along with your dad. And in their head, they just start concocting this evil statement.
That's what happens.
Totally designed, this desperate Hail Mary attempt to make you so fucking mad, you just call him a cunt.
Pretty much.
That's what it is. And cunt trumps all the bullshit they did to start the argument. Now it's not about that. Well, that's no reason to call me a cunt. And then that's it. You're in this room now, right? My girl knows my big thing is my big fear in life.
I don't care. This is where I don't care. But all that said is true. So now we go back to this. It's like, you said this other stupid word. It makes sense.
Cuts. Trump's White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, is struggling to answer questions today, only 24 hours after the White House was humiliated by an international court that said all of Trump's Liberation Day tariffs, all of Trump's tariffs, are nullified. Now, that was the backbone of Trump's...
Doesn't matter. Damage is done. Like, cool, that's great. That's a love. Fantastic, as it was, I forgot who it was, but there's a comedian, and that's like his expression, fantastic, right? Cool, whatever. It doesn't matter. Reason why is because Marjorie Taylor Greene and everybody already pulled the money out of the stock market. Marjorie Taylor Greene ran in and bought it all. The transfer already happened. It doesn't matter if they faked it. It doesn't matter. And again, it's Trump's tariffs because he's the fall guy. Again, we go back to our paper, right? Trump and Elon Musk are basically tools to get what they want, and the people that are what they want, for example, there's bad and false leaders, bad leaders, false gods. Kamala Harris proved it. John Oliver fucked up. I didn't see it, but I saw it. And basically what I mean by that is there was a point where John Oliver is like, oh, Kamala Harris doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. But the truth is, she was actually spot on perfect because she don't want to step on anybody's toes. But she also wanted to inform you. So she did a very good job. And John Oliver is like, you're fucking dumb because I don't get this fucking game. And I'm very fucking blah, blah, blah. Anyways. But that's what they call it, late night with John Oliver or whatever, because he's the fall guy there. So if something happens, then John Oliver's the bad guy, and we don't talk about the guys behind closed doors. We don't know who they are, right? Just like we don't know Paul Ryan, Steve Bannon, Jeff Sessions, Lindsey Graham, Jim Jordan, Pete Hegseth, R.K. Jr., Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Marco Rubio, Gideon Pirro, and then there's this one guy. I think his name is Matthew Cawthorn. And the reason why he is mentioned is because he called out all the bullshit. He's like, whoa, why are all the senators here in this orgy with little girls? This is crazy, and they're all doing drugs. And then all the senators like, whoa, what the fuck? He's not supposed to say that. And then, so that's what happened. And then Trump did the same thing. Like, he's saying things and he's not supposed to say them. And so everyone was like, we can't be putting our names out there and our faces out there because Trump and people and whatnot, they're all fall guys. But if we are involved, then we no longer, what's called, have a fall guy and a guy that we can exploit and a guy that we can use to take the hit and take the fall. We're going to fall with him. And that's what's going on. Basically. At Fox News, it's the same thing. All of the spin-offs, the same thing. They're influencers and influence Trump, Elon Musk, and again via Trojan Horse or above. So the above those people can be leaders or influencers or leaders and influencers. And the problem again is on the left we have people with no spine. On the left, the liberals have no spine. People like Sean Paul Reyes, people like Emaru, basically, like just an example. They are why people are dead, like Jeffrey Epstein at 9/11. How COVID shut down everything, and because of moving goalposts and whatnot in healthcare, blah blah blah. So all these companies failed, and as they failed, the right came in and bought all the land, and so now there's a bunch of red spots in California because of this shit. And the same thing happened with tariffs and whatnot. Marjorie Taylor Greene is just the most open example, and it's the most common sense example. And again, I'm sure that all the other names I mentioned, if you looked into them, they too owned a lot of fucking stocks and whatnot that they bought around us. What's it called? When Trump brought up the tariffs, and that was leaked out, basically, whatever. And basically, it's again manipulation, reverse psychology, Pavlov, the drooling dogs. Basically, like you understand all that, and that will teach you that it's a manipulation, because it's the same thing. We have ego-driven reporter sellouts, basically, and what they are is people that for some reason have half their face when they're supposed to be reporters, but we see them sitting there watching the fucking video too. Again, Luke Beasley, Adam Mockler, Kyle Kolinsky, David Pacman, Philip DeFranco, Colton Wexlet, Vlog, Hassan Temple, Emru. Like, for some reason they're there, but they shouldn't be there. You're supposed to be reporters, or you're fucked up, or whatever, and you're making the world suck. And then to a small extent, Megan Press or whatever. Again, first half was clickbait, causing issues via First Amendment BS, but it was in private land, and because they asked, basically not for you to record it, not so much that you can't, but we asked you to, and it's not so much you can't, again, not because you can't, but you can, we're asking you not to, as respect, please can you not, these people don't want to be famous, and you did it anyway because you're a fucking dipshit dumbass, but that's exactly why you're being carried forward, because you're making those people I mentioned before look good, and that's what they want, and that's why I look bad, and I'm terrible, because I make them look bad, like you should, but that's the battle that's going on in America. And a perfect example of what I'm talking about is the Bernie blackout and how it did happen. And I know it happened because it's happening to me. So, anyways, continue, selfish douchebag, dumbass idiot.
Economic theory. He said these new duties on foreign imports were going to realign global trade, or whatever his theory was. It was all incoherent. But now he finds himself legally dismantled, humiliated, and cornered. And this is manifesting in Caroline Leavitt, again, the White House press secretary. I have multiple clips to play for you, not only of her being confronted on an AI report the White House put out. Again,
Alright, we'll go ahead and do Caroline Levitt. And what was the last speaker? Caroline Ann or something? Annie Caroline. She was also an Ann Caroline or something. Who was the last press secretary for fucking bitch? Who was the last press secretary for Donald Trump? Who was the president's press secretary in his first presidential election? Who was the press secretary in 2018?
According to Wikipedia, Sanders is the daughter of Mike Huckabee, who served from 1996 to 2007 as Arkansas's 44th governor. A member of the Republican Party, she was the 31st White House press secretary, serving under President Donald Trump from 2017 to 2019. Sanders was the third woman to be White House press secretary.
Another person is Laura Trump. Mike Huckabee. But those aren't the people. I think it's Caroline Conway. I think that's who it was. Who was Caroline Conway? Tell me who was Caroline Conway. Great, lovely, wonderful, amazing, thanks. Yeah, Kellyanne Conway. That's who it was. Kellyanne Conway. Pollster and former counselor of the president. Yep, that's who it was. Kellyanne Conway. But again, they dipped. They went quiet. They went rogue. You know why? It's because the left is coming and justice is coming.
The White House put out an AI report where the sources were just manufactured by AI. She gets asked about the Qatari jet and multiple other things. Let's jump in with her saying that the Qatari jet is actually just a gift.
I guarantee he's going to be there watching it, and we got to deal with him being there. Let's see.
Transfer.
Thanks, Caroline. Sure.
Oh, look at that. We get to watch him watch
To
this
just
video.
clarify once and for all, the
Lovely.
Qatari jet, the sale, or the gift, because the Qatari government is asking the U.S. to clarify that the jet's pending transfer was initiated by the Trump administration. So is this something that the White House is going to do?
The amount of questions we've received, and we've been incredibly clear, and I have answered this, the president has answered this, the Department of Defense has answered this. This is a government-to-government gift transfer from the Qataris to the Department of Defense, to the United States Air Force. It is now in their hands, and for further details on where that stands, I would defer you to the Department of Defense and the United States Air Force. I have
By government-to-government gift transfer, she means bribe. It is a personal gift that is unprecedented. 400 for being confront or do make
And again,
and that's what the Trump admin did.
You watch his you watch his videos, he tells you what to think. You watch my videos, I tell you what's happening. Think for yourself.
Thanks so much, Caroline. A notice investigation found that the Hallmark Maha Commission report that was released last week cites studies that appear to not exist. We know that because, in part, we reached out to some of the listed authors who said that they didn't write the studies cited. So I want to ask, does the White House have confidence that the information coming from HHS can be trusted?
Yes, we have complete confidence in Secretary Kennedy and his team at HHS. I understand there were some formatting issues with the
And for the record, it looks like she knows what
report
she's
that are
talking
being-
about, but if you watch her
your
eyes
dress
really closely, she's reading a script.
in the report will be updated.
That's not a formatting issue. That's like saying that deporting someone to a prison that's a terrorist confinement center is a quote error. It's not an error. You just basically killed somebody. And by the way, Kilmar is not coming back. He hasn't come back yet. So this isn't.
Instance of the report
Yes, it does. Outcome.
been released by the. I can't speak to that. I would defer you to the Department of Health and Human Services. What I know is just what I told you.
She can't speak to what the terror that struggle.
Policy and just
President by the Constitution.
This
look
guy.
in some way, basically telling you guys
Now, PA does not apply. We are not in an economic emergency of any sort.
Shut up.
And now, Caroline Levitt struggles to give a coherent answer about that.
so the courts are basically telling you guys they
What's his name? He's also a bad guy.
think that the White House's policies, the president's
Peter Ducey? Is that? I think that's what it is. Peter. Ooh, that tasted like what I ate. Peter. Poopy.
policies are in some way against the law. So why can't President Trump ask the Republicans that control the House and the Republicans that control the Senate just to make a new law?
Well, these laws have already been granted to the president by the Constitution and by laws that have been previously passed. I'll
This is not true.
give you another example. Has simply
Again, we're trying to influence you by leading you and making it seem okay, and not so much that we're just like telling you like it is. We're trying to tell you how it is. That's what that is.
used his
Surprisingly, fish through Congress. So poor.
visas.
Okay, why is
State Rubio has symbols who have the privilege of court for the revocation of visas from
Again, why are we watching you?
individuals who have the privilege of studying in the United States of America. Secretary of State Rubio has simply used his authority to revoke those visas.
Okay, why is she pivoting? Peter Ducey's question, surprisingly, cuts to the core, the core of it all. If Trump's tariffs are so beneficial and so good, and the courts are blocking them via the executive branch, why doesn't he just go through Congress and have the Republican majority in the House and Senate pass them? It's because the Republican majority would never do that. They would never in a million years do that. I know that we shit on Republicans in
At
Congress
least
a lot.
that's what you think, and that's why they promote you, because they want you to tell people to think what you think, and they might, because you're a dumbass and they don't care, and they're all fall guys, and as long as the people I mentioned before, Paul Ryan, Steve Bannon, Jeff Sessions, Lindsey Graham, Jim Jordan, Peter Hegseth, R.K. Jr., Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boebert, Margie Green, Margaret Rubio, Ginny Perro, Matthew Cawthorn. Oops, I'm Matt. What the hell? Not Matt. It's Matha. I put Matthew. Matthew Cawthorn. Why are you not good? Is it a C? Hawthorne? It's Cawthorn. I'm pretty sure it's Cawthorn.
We should. A lot of
President, they can run for office themselves. It should be the other way around. But
Yeah, I mean, the court's striking down the executive actions. It's beyond policy disagreements. It's about executive overreach. The executive branch is going way too far in declaring an emergency. Even if you remove these,
Yeah,
you couldn't
and
get.
it's part of the system. They know it's too far. They're going too far. They are intentionally going too far. This is where the fall guys come in they get punished for going too far. They're out of the system. But guess what? All the people, the shadow government is still there, and all the players are still there to continue going too far. And that's the fucking ball game. You fucking dumb idiot.
This is not going to continue.
JT administration is going to the Supreme Court.
So they think that other countries are going to side with the Trump admin, the malicious actor attacking them, rather than the courts decide
Observe that America
more faith.
I'm done. Anyways, be well, be safe, be awesome. As I said, this is stupid, but I'm out here. So, like I said, be awesome, be well, be happy, be safe. God bless, be strong, have a great day, take care, be safe. Hallelujah. God and God's stuff, that's fine. Blah blah blah. But anyways, I'm out. Peace.